G'day everyone, Haere mai, welcome to the show. It's Thursday the 10th of April, which as you know is 40 years to the day since this happened. And we begin tonight with a story about two of the passengers who survived. 40 years ago she was 17 and he was 5. It was such a terrible storm that day. The sea was so rough and unforgiving that a child couldn't possibly survive being tossed into the water without an adult to keep them afloat. But a 17-year-old girl, well, they're both adults now and they haven't seen each other in the 40 years since fate, the sea and the weather literally threw them together. And then yesterday on the beach where they came ashore, they met again. Richard Langston was there.
It's 40 years since they've seen each other. They share a bond of survival, and Ian Johnson owes his life to Sue Willoughby.
Oh, well, what do you say to someone who's responsible for saving your life, you know? Thank you. But it's not enough words, you know? It's the action that was done there is just huge.
Here they are back on April 10, 1968, coming ashore on Seatoon Beach. She is 17 and he is 5 and safe in her arms. They have survived the Wahine disaster.
You just held on to me, you know, and it was like the whole situation of everything just being crazy and everyone's life-threatening, but for someone to give up the one hand or whatever they might need to help someone else, it's just massive.
You just do it, and that's what I did, you know. I've got a younger brother who was about 8 at that time, and it's just what you do. Yeah. And in some ways it was good for me because I had to concentrate on you.
Tragedy today in Wellington Harbour. The inter-island ferry Wahine foundered off Fort Dorset with 744 passengers and crew aboard.
That day the sea was enormous and freezing, the wind gusting at 100 knots. A 17-year-old girl and a 5-year-old boy clung to each other for dear life.
We were in the water for about, I think, 15 to 20 minutes, and a lifeboat came past, or came up, and
you're hanging on to Ian all the time?
I was hanging on to Ian, yeah, tightly. I knew how to swim and had from a young age. Holding on to Ian, and you weren't crying, you were being quite staunch. I kept saying, it's going to be all right, it's okay, you know, there's a boat coming. And it did, and we got hauled on board, and it was hugely packed. And I told you stories, many stories. And you sang, I can't remember what you sang, we were singing, you know, nursery rhyme things. And we seemed like we were out there forever. And finally got into shore. One of the guys said, hand him to me. Which I didn't want to, because I held you all that time. And it was comforting for me to have you there.
There's been serious loss of life, but exact details are not yet available. It's known at least 40 are dead, but this figure could be much higher.
Ian Johnson was on board with his mother and father and his 2 brothers. This photo was taken just before their trip. That's Ian on the right, his brother Colin in the middle, and on the left, the eldest, 7-year-old Neil.
I saw a couple with 3 children and trying to deal with getting off the boat with 3 children would be impossible.
Yep.
So I just said, would you like me to take one of them?
Yep.
This is Neil today, recalling how his father threw him in a life raft and then jumped in himself. Being with your father probably ensured you survived?
Yeah, it did, yeah. And as I said, you know, as a child, as long as you have one of the adults with you, it's like, well, it's sort of okay, you know. It was a scary adventure.
Colin was with his mother, but slipped from her grasp, and he drowned.
I didn't understand Colin had gone. I used to wait for him after school for for a long time.
Colin lost his life and his brothers lost their childhood. The brother born to stand in the middle of them was gone.
I have a son now, and watching him, you know, for all of this, because our life changed, you know, our childhood changed, happiness went away. So seeing my 8-year-old, I can see my brother through him, I can see me through him, and sort of going, well, that's what a normal child does at 8, because we certainly didn't have any normal childhood for quite some time.
I thought a lot about your mother and what it must have been like to lose a child. It must be devastating.
Returning to the beach now, they can hardly believe how close to shore the Wahine was when it foundered, just a couple of 100 metres away.
I had no idea that it was so close to shore, and I mean the seas must have been huge that day.
Police and rescue workers stood up to shoulder deep in the surf to carry the shot and the injured to waiting ambulances and buses.
I still see a hole in the side of the ship. I still see a woman floating face down in the water. I still see those people on the rocks.
No one escaped the Wahine unmarked. For these two survivors, it's the event that has forever bound and marked them, and shaped and changed their lives.
It made me very aware of my finite life. We're only here for a short period, that we should make the very best of it because it could be taken away any moment, and to do the best you can for other people too.
I don't live in fear of anything as such, but today is what we have. Yesterday is gone, and tomorrow may not be there.